SAS reports of VC were always very thorough.
Observed 47 VC in groups moving west on track. North Vietnamese soldier in pressed khaki uniform with full webbing equipment. 1 French submachine gun, 2 Thompson submachine guns, 1 wireless. Light fire team called and engaged the enemy.
Most SAS patrols depended on the helicopters of 9 Squadron, Royal Australian Air Force. At first, these helicopters were unarmed. This made SAS operations very risky. So the pilots modified their own gunships, but without first asking their masters in Canberra.
Had we asked permission to develop a gunship, the answer would come back, no, you can't, because the aircraft is incapable of being a gunship. In fact, the US Army told us our aircraft was incapable of being a gunship.
But after 9 months of creative effort and scavenging from the Americans, success. 9 Squadron had its own gunships, the Bushrangers, with rocket pods, multi-barreled miniguns, and M60 machine guns on each side.
To insert a SAS patrol, we would use 5 aircraft. The SAS patrol would be on 1 aircraft. There would be a command aircraft, there would be a spare aircraft, and there'd be a pair of gunships.
The troops boarding the helicopter, and they would go in a helicopter called the slick ship. The helicopter would just fall out of the sky to treetop level. You would just fly at treetop level, sometimes hitting the tops of the trees and ripping your greens if you were sitting in the door with your feet hanging out. It was the wildest ride of your life. The hair stood up in the back of your neck. It was better than anything you'll ever find at Wonderworld or Disneyland or anywhere else. What a ride, just fantastic.
To move out onto those skids and just run into the bush, and you were running into a barrier. Here we were, being dropped off in the middle of nowhere, in enemy territory, and running into a scrub bog.
Our relationship with SAS was very close. If you pull them out during a hot extraction, they wouldn't come on board the aircraft one at a time and sit down and roll a smoke and do up their seat belts. They would throw themselves on the floor of the aircraft, poke their guns out the side and add to the suppressive fire that the aircraft might be laying down itself.
So I jumped behind his twin M60s, and looking down I could still see my mates back to back by this time. And I shot a nice arc of fire around them, very nice. I felt that it was good covering fire. Anyhow, the crew chief came sort of over me and he said to me, "Did you get any bastard?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, because I mainly shot cover for my mates down below." And he says, "Because you used all my bullets."
But the 9 Squadron, they were a fantastic mob of people. When we prayed at night, we prayed to them first, then God. Because we reckon they did more good for us. Everyone was religious.
On one patrol in May 1969, southwest of the Courtney Rubber, my patrol was surrounded. We had enemy that I could actually see to the north, to the south and to the west. And I was pretty sure they were in the thick country to the east of us. We waited there for about 3 hours, and finally, as the sun was going down, I got a call. The Bushranger was on their way in. That was the Australian Light Fire Team. I asked him to put rockets 20 metres to the north and 20 metres to the south of us. After the rockets came in, a lone helicopter came across the top of the trees and dropped 4 ropes to us. Both door gunners were firing, we were firing. We hooked onto the ropes and we came out, and there was tracer absolutely going everywhere. We could see the enemy firing at us as we were pulled up through the trees. And I've got to say that my patrol owes its life to that very gallant pilot in 9 Squadron.
9 Squadron and Lady Luck saved many SAS teams from certain death.